Now live on the Red Pill Diaries. Thank you all for joining me on the most powerful platform for truth, bar none, on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification. This is the Red Pill Diaries, and I'm your host, your brother, and your friend Rashid. Thank you all for joining me on another edition of this platform. I got my guy, my friend. I cannot wait to like peek into his mind about all of the stuff that is going on right now. I got to bring him without further delay. My guy, KJ Noah. How's it going today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good myself, but KJ, I got to go right into it with you.
Let's go right
What
into
what is going on um, with Trump, his administration, and this desperate move to strike and try to decapitate the Iranian leadership?
Well, certainly desperation, I think, is part of the picture. I mean, if you look at the long haul of this, the US has wanted to take down Iran for a very, very long time, since 1979. It sees Iran as critical to control of the region. It also sees Iran as a threat, especially in terms of its support of an axis of resistance, and it also wants to see if it can uh, knock out one of the key pillars of the multipolar world, the others being Russia and China. So there are many reasons for this, but I think the timing and the strategy is completely misguided. If you can, if you can frame it from their perspective, and essentially what we're seeing here is a dumpster fire. It's a three-alarm dumpster fire, and they really don't know what they're doing. We can see right now that what was supposed to be a rapid decapitation attack has turned into something completely different. The analogy that I think I've given before is sometimes you see martial artists, mixed martial artists, you have a headhunter, they want to go in there fast, knock the person out, game over. And what happens is that you attempt that strike, you miss, and then all of a sudden you're being taken down to the ground, and it's a completely different ball game. So this is kind of what we're saying, just a rough analogy. But think about how Iran has reacted. They have hit at least 27 bases, including the headquarters of the Fifth Fleet, a logistics base, and they have hit somewhere between 3 and 7 radars. That's essentially like blinding your opponent, just jabbing your thumb into their eyes. And these radars are there. One of them is, very, very important long range radar site. There are two THAAD radars. Just those three radars alone, that's about $2 billion worth of equipment lost right there, and probably knocked down with $50,000 drones. And so that's the other dimension of this, is that from a purely arithmetic standpoint, from an accounting standpoint, Iran has the advantage because they have a much greater magazine depth, something in the range of 10 to 1 in terms of missiles. And then in terms of budgetary expenditures, they probably have something like 100 to 1 advantage over the United States. So it's not looking good. Also remember, there were 3 F-15s that crashed. They say it was a friendly fire accident, but a friendly fire accident is like an own goal. It means that you don't know what you're doing. It means that you are scared and messed up, and you're not coordinating. And it also may be the case that there was electronic warfare involved. Or a third option is that they were actually shot down by Iran. And that would be a first. The F-15 is never shot down, but if that's the case, this would also be a first. We're seeing there have been reports of 6 US deaths, 6 casualties, but I think that there's probably much, much more. There are much more casualties that will be revealed as the days and weeks go by. Why do I say this? Dover Air Force Base, which is where some of the logistics is happening, is they are hiring personal effects specialists. What is a personal effects specialist? That is a person who goes through dead bodies and the personal effects that were found with them, sorts them, organizes them, cleans them, etc., and then mails them to the families. The fact that they're actually hiring people lets you know that it's just not a few people. It's more than that. And then the other thing is there's a major military hospital in Germany where all casualties are taken to, and that hospital has just sent out a notice in, it's reported in the Stars and Stripe, is that no births will be allowed in the hospital because they have to focus on their primary goal. The primary goal meaning the healing and rehabilitation of combat veterans. And so I think there's some signals that let us know that there things are not going according to plan.
Why do we keep repeating the same mistakes when it comes to military conflicts? Maybe it's because we stopped studying war. Victor Davis Hanson believes military history isn't about glorifying conflict. It's about understanding human nature, recognizing the signs of aggression, and remembering the price of peace. From ancient battles to modern wars, the patterns are familiar. Appeasement, misjudgment, avoidable tragedy. When we forget how freedom is won, we risk losing it. In this free ebook from the Hoover Institution, Hanson explores what war teaches us and why a nation that forgets its military history forgets itself. Why we should study war by Victor Davis Hanson. Get your free copy today and rediscover what history is trying to tell us.
Iranians claim that 5 have been casualties. We don't know. I mean, this is the fog of war. We don't know, what is or is not the case. But all I can say is that currently, what was supposed to be a rapid decapitation that manifests U.S. power and puts those pesky Iranians into their place has turned into, a 3-alarm, 5-alarm dumpster fire. And I think they really don't know, from where are you going to get these troops and how are you going to stage them, etc. The entire thing looks like a mess.
I was reading the Iranian press, and they said between 500 and 650 U.S. troops were killed, and they said that they were the ones that shot down the F-15s, and they even lodged a diplomatic complaint against Kuwait for saying that it was friendly fire. They said, well, if it was friendly fire, then answer us, why were they allowed to fly over your airspace close to our borders? You have some explaining to do to us. Because if you say that you shot them down, and by the way, America has friendly fire, friend to foe identification on these planes, so their story does not hold water when they say that they were shot down through friendly fire. Also, Iran has shot down multiple Harries or Herman drones or and Reaper drones also. But I want to ask you something, because I've heard it in the backdrop where the United States is absolutely lowering missiles from a distance, and Iranian air defense is taking down a lot of the missiles, but a lot also gets through. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, again, we're in the fog of war. We don't know what is actually happening. Certainly, there are severe attacks on Tehran, for example. Now, are these attacks done through gravity bombs, as would be possible if they had uh, air dominance, or are these standoff weapons that are being shot, 200 kilometers away? For now, I think that they're standoff weapons. I think they are attempting to have air supremacy, but I don't think they have it yet. If we think back to the first Gulf War, it took 5 weeks. If we think of the Iraq War in 2003, it took 17 days. So I don't believe that they have air supremacy yet. If they've asserted that, I think they're in for a surprise. And that isn't to say that the U.S. doesn't have perfidy, attacking leadership under negotiation, and bombing schools with girls in them. 165, if I'm not mistaken, were killed. So they are capable of hurting civilians, but are they capable of suppression of enemy air defense? Have they done it effectively? Are they capable of taking out the battalions that are counter firing? That we don't know. But what we do see is there's a consistent targeting, consistent retaliation by Iran. So I think they are, I think they are, overselling themselves. Like I said, once again, the at least 27 bases have been hit. Tel Aviv is hit on a regular. Their bases masquerading as countries.
I think that India is shooting itself in the foot a lot with trying to disrupt the BRICS, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Belt and Road Initiative, and now with this move against Iran, and they so desperately need the Chabahar port. If I was Iran, I would scrap it. I would not trust them in the least because they cost a lot, the lives of over 100 sailors and one of the ships.
Tulsi Gabbard said, a vote for Trump is a vote to end war, right? Okay, well, that hasn't worked out. And the fact is that we have never decolonized. In the past 70 years of decolonization after 1945 were partial decolonization. And right now, the empire is struggling. Iran is giving as good as it gets. Will it go the distance? We don't know, but if it does, uh, that will foundationally break, the confidence of the empire. It will not be the same. It will be like the UK after the Suez Crisis. It will be, yeah.
Everybody, you see why I always have to have KJ on the show. He's awesome, isn't he? Thank you so much for joining me, KJ. I'll send you the video shortly. Be blessed and be safe.
Thank you, and you too, Rashid, are awesome. You keep on doing what you do.
Thank you so much. Everybody, hit the like button and the subscribe button. And before we go off there, I have to say this. Do right by others, not because there's some material gain to be had or some accolades to be had. Do right by others because it's the right, the humane, and the godly thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching you, remember that God Almighty is watching you. As my late, great, and most beautiful mother would always say, God sits high on the throne of power, but he looks low at the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that the divine supreme being of freedom, justice, and equality has for you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember to stay righteous. Hey, mama, your baby boy loves you more than life.